Why do you ride? Have you ever stopped and thought about it a little bit? I mean, why do you actually go out and ride? What is it that draws you to get on the road and do the things you do on your motorcycle? Trike, three wheeler, two wheeler, whatever. I've been trapped a little bit, super busy at work. Weather's been kind of dreary. So I've been stuck at home just a little bit. And I've had a little bit of opportunity to just think about, why do I ride? So, hey, this is K Dog here. I want to do a short little video. I'll throw some video in the background from some various, you know, activities I've done on the Spider, on the Tri-Glide, etc. But what I really want to do is ask you to think about, why do you ride? I'm going to talk about why I think I ride, and let's just see where it takes us. So for me, to think about why do I ride, I have to think back a little bit at some of the rides I've done. What have been some of those activities that I will always remember? I remember the first bike I ever got, Suzuki GS 550, 500, 550. I was, 16 years old. That was over 40 years ago. I remember picking up that motorcycle. I don't even remember how I got there. Someone took me there, a friend of mine or something, because my mom, who worked at a hospital, did not want me to get a motorcycle. I remember I was so excited. I was shaking. I got out on the road, got out on the highway, headed home, and I remember yelling. I was just so full of excitement. I could not believe I actually had a motorcycle. Never forget that feeling. I remember the first near accident I was in. I've never been in a real accident, knock on wood. But it was the first year I had the motorcycle. I was in the city. I was going 35 miles an hour, and it's that kind of classical car in front of me turns left, right in front of me, didn't even see me. I remember it like it was yesterday, even though it was, 40-ish years ago. The older lady in the car, she looked right at me. I know she saw me, but she turned left right in front of me. And I had no choice but to lay the bike down. Didn't get hurt, the bike was okay, but I'll always remember seeing her face. She looked right at me, she turned left, I laid the bike down, and she just kept right on driving. She didn't even stop. I've had a lot of bikes in my life, 8 or so, plus or minus one. I remember I had a crotch rocket. I had a Kawasaki ZX 1100. And I remember the first time I went over 130 miles an hour. I was scared. I have to admit it. I only did it in a straight line. I was just sure I was going to hit a patch of gravel or something, and that was going to be the end of it. But the thrill, the excitement, the speed, the wind in my face, I will never forget that feeling. I remember my first long trip of at least a week. Went with a group of guys. At the time, I had a Valkyrie Interstate. So much fun. You're completely focused on the trip, not thinking about anything else. Great group of guys, older than me, tons of experience. One of the guys on the trip had been an instructor for the Colorado Highway Patrol motorcycle riders. So he was so much fun, taught me lots of things. I'll always remember when we would stop, he would have us do these little parking lot games. How slow can you go without your foot going down? He actually carried cones with him, and we'd do little cone things. And he would stop every time at a restaurant. He would stop and make balloon animals for any of the kids in the restaurant. Just something I will never forget. I remember the first time my wife went on a ride with me, my second wife. At the time I had a Honda VTX, if I remember correctly, and she had some decent gear. She was, I think, excited. Unfortunately, the first ride she went on, it started raining super hard. It hailed. We went with a few friends. We all had to pull over under some cover. At one point, I'm not kidding, a tree had fallen over across the road not far in front of us. So it was a terrible experience, probably for her. But I remember thinking, despite the negative first ride that my wife had with me, I remember thinking, I wonder if she feels the same way I do about riding. Does she feel the excitement? Does she feel the being plugged in to what's happening right now around us? I remember the first bigger group rides I started going on. I was nervous. I used to go do a Saturday morning ride where people of all kinds of motorcycles would meet up and we do an hour long kind of ride, go have breakfast somewhere, and then go our separate ways. I'll always remember at first how nervous I was riding in a group. Was I doing it right? Did they think I knew what I was doing? And then it was, do they know what they're doing? Can I give them some instruction? Can we all be safe about it? Does everyone know to ride their own ride? But I'll always remember those first few group rides where I was nervous but so excited to be sharing the excitement of riding with other people that felt the same way I did. And I remember my first larger group ride. I remember my first 9/11 ride where I did an event with over 500 bikes. It was a lot of fun. It was something I'll always remember. The highway patrolman zooming up and down past us, blocking all the intersections on the highway so that we had a straight shot all the way down the highway to the 9/11 memorial, actually at the World War I memorial in Kansas City. So I will always remember that huge group of bikes, everybody focused on the same thing. Okay, so I remember all those specific examples like it just happened, and so many more. But why do I remember them? And more importantly, why do I ride? The conclusion I have come to is this: I ride because it makes me live in the moment. At that moment when I'm riding, I'm thinking about the curve I'm on. I'm thinking about the cool spots in the road as I dip down and then it gets warmer as you get up. I'm thinking about the smells. I'm thinking about the sounds around me of the other bikes or things going on around me, even traffic. I'm thinking about the light of the sun if it's in the morning when the sun's coming up, or if it's dusk when the sun is low in the sky. I am thinking about what is happening there in the moment. And for me, that is so relaxing and exciting at the same time. I'm so focused on what's happening there and now that I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday. I'm not thinking about this problem or that thing I need to do. I'm not thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow, something that's due at work or some activities that I've got to get plugged into, a week from then. I am focused on the excitement and the sensations of riding my motorcycle right then and there. And that's, I think, what people that don't ride kind of don't understand. When you're in your cage, your car, and you're driving down the road, yes, you probably have your music on, you're probably having conversations with others in the car. You're really just trying to pass the time away, right? You're just trying to get where you're going. But when you're on a motorcycle, and you can smell, and the wind is in your face, and you're more, your feet are 6 inches off the ground, and you've got that sense of danger and excitement and all these other sensations all at the same time. It's a completely different feeling than just getting in a cage and going from point A to point B. And I think one great side effect of that reason I ride, because it makes me live in the moment, all those sensations are happening right then and there. I think a side effect of that is exactly what I just explained before. I remember these particular events so much more vividly, and I will always have these memories because I was so focused on the now, what was happening right then and there. My first bike, the excitement, my first accident, why didn't she see me? My first going 130 plus miles an hour, what the heck am I doing? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. My first group rides, my first ride with my wife, my first rides with friends, getting more comfortable, all those things that you do on your motorcycle and that I've done. I remember them so much better because I think I was so focused in that moment. Why do I ride? I ride because it makes me live in the moment. It makes me truly enjoy and appreciate the feelings and the sensations on that motorcycle in that moment. And it makes me, in doing that, it makes me remember those situations probably forever. That's it. Thanks for letting me wax poetic just a little bit. I would love to hear why you ride. What do you think about what it is about riding that makes you excited, makes you keep doing it despite the heightened danger over being in a car? Throw me some ideas in the comments section. Would love to hear what your experiences have been. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I would love a like, even a subscribe if you enjoyed the content. That'll help others with similar interests find this content as well. Again, thank you. Truly appreciate you. Hey, when you're out there, ride safe.